Touring Car Series. We are live here from the Interlagos race circuit, and we have got 3 races of 7 laps in distance for you tonight, and we've got a full field of 15 cars to join us as well. So at the moment we've got a red flag out as the host accidentally set the session to only 5 minutes instead of 8, so it doesn't quite give enough time for everyone to get a decent lap in for qualifying. And yeah, so gonna have to quickly reset that. And also joining me tonight is Ryan Palmer, also known as Disappointed. How are you going tonight, Ryan?
You know, another Sunday in paradise, but it's good to be in the seat next year, watching these TS2 boys come up and through the ranks.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting night, and there's a lot of fast drivers who have come through pre-qualifying early on tonight. I'm sure it'll be very exciting to watch those guys all go to battle for possibly for the race win by the looks of things.
Yeah, you obviously got those quick guys, obviously in Viper Z, and then you got his little old friendly buddies in Mint Matt, Jaram, and Sid. What's his other name? Sid1, is it, or something or other like that?
Yep. Yeah, I believe that's Psy Dog, I think it is.
Psy Dog, Sea Dog, however it is. But yeah, no, they are a bunch of fast boys coming through, and it'd be definitely one to watch up the front. And obviously we got John O'Stan as well.
Yeah, so 5 very fast guys coming through pre-qualifying, and then there's a host of other drivers who are in through the top 10 of the series points standings. Well, not quite the top 10, but majority in the top 10. Then there's a couple outside that got promoted up into split 1 through their, I'll call it, loyalty and point scores.
Yeah, you obviously got the top 10 boys sitting in there. Obviously, Chef Toddy, Blacko, JMX. Sadly, the championship leader Xylon couldn't join us tonight, but that's a bit sad. But hopefully he joins us next week. Yeah,
hopefully. Well, that'll be a bit of a relief to... Well, sorry, Xylon's actually sitting in second, so it might be a relief for little Blacko, that's for sure.
Oh,
It'll
yeah,
probably give him a chance to extend that series lead.
Oh yeah. Did he overtook him on the last one? Did he?
No. Little Blacko's been in the series lead all season, actually.
Oh yeah. It's obviously been a close one. Obviously you can see that there's how many points we got? We got about 100 and we got about 80 odd points between the two of them. But obviously little Blacko, we get the peace and quiet from Xylon behind him for this event.
Yeah, so at the moment in the standings it's little Blacko in the lead on 1148 points, with Xylon 96, who's not here tonight, on 1071, and then third place is JMX on 950, Rugworth on 904 in 4th place, and then Mickey's 123 on 886. So that's probably one of the closest battles amongst the top 5, is that battle for 4th and 5th. But maybe things will close up amongst probably 2nd to 5th with Xylon that not there as well.
Yeah, it's obviously a RSR MSR sandwich here. You got Little Blacko in first for RSR, and then you got Mickey's and Robbo Sport there for RSR as well, with 3 MSR guys in the middle of them. So it'd be good to see where these guys are, and obviously how it all pans out. And obviously they don't have a teams championship in the TS2, so it's kind of just a solo drivers championship.
Yeah, very much about the drivers here, and of course it allows some teams to enter more drivers into the series than other teams might be able to, so certainly taking the teams aspect out encourages drivers to race for themselves a bit more as well.
Yeah, and obviously race by themselves and then get picked up from other teams and representing, as we see Mint Matt followed by Sea Dog commence his first flying lap. We'll see what time Mint Matt puts in for people to try and if he can set the bar and what time he's going to pull.
Yeah, so he's got Side Dog right behind him, probably gaining a nice slipstream. That's a nice livery there from Side Dog. It definitely stands out, the Castrol livery with the green, red and white as well. But yeah, of course, Mint Matt probably doesn't really need any introduction. GT Academy winner, so toured all across Europe racing Nissan GT3 cars in the Blancpain Endurance Series, and of course a bit closer to the online racing stuff is a very well known driver. I think he was part of a manufacturers series FIA championship team Porsche at one point. I might be wrong there, but and then of course he was part of the Core Nürburgring 24 Hours winning team in 2015.
Oh, that is some quick times.
So yeah,
that is some quick times.
So yeah, first lap out, and Side Dog's done a 1 minute 19.974. Wow, that is a very fast lap time.
That is incredible.
And Mint Matt just behind with a 120.167. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there with the lap times, but it's saying it's not far off. So okay, it's readjusted to
there we go. Yeah, 120.012. Yeah, that's even so. Oh, we got Jerem in third, Jono standing fourth, Wipers in fifth. So all these 5 guys that have come through from pre-qualifying are setting the mark real early in this.
Yeah, definitely showing why they came through the top 5 of pre-qualifying, and even though they've joined in later on in the series, they're showing plenty of pace and definitely causing some headaches for the regulars in the season standings, and probably taking some points away in these battles. So let's just drop down the order a bit, and looks like Little Blacko, where is Little Blacko? Down in 13th, so very slow lap time the first time around. Let's see what he's got this time around. He's 6 seconds better off. What is Scully doing there with the dive down the inside?
Oh, sorry to cut you off there, but Viper's Head just goes to the top with a 119.832.
Wow, that's an incredible time there from Viper's Head.
And then
let's see what Blacko's got. He's up to 9th place, so series leaders having a bit of trouble there at the start, and Beast Race is putting in a great lap time into 7th place as well, and of course Robbo Sport, the best of the series regulars, in 6th.
Yeah, Robbo Sport 1.8 seconds off the pace there. As you can see, these guys that have come through, they are just astonishingly quick, and obviously that comes down to just driver technique, and tune obviously assists that. But yeah, as some people may not know, Viper's End is actually on a hand controller.
Yeah, that's some incredible times considering he's on a controller. But look at Mint, he's another 3/10 up. This is incredible.
We're going to see a 119.5 here if he holds his time.
Yeah, let's see. It looked like he had a good run out of that final corner. Let's see what he can produce here. Definitely going to be a 19. 19.5. He's gone to the top of the time sheets here. No response there from Viper's Head, and Side Dog was a bit off the pace there. So let's have a look and see whether Jerem 50 has anything on his lap.
As you can see, Jono Stan is in 5th by 0.098, so that's just anything of a blink of an arm. JMX jumps up to 6th place with a 121.1.
You can definitely see the main TS2 drivers in the championship, Little Blacko, JMX and Robbo Sport and Mickey, is all struggling to keep up with all these top 5 guys that have just come through pre-qualification. As you boys have just mentioned, guys like Mint Matt, an FIA champion, Viper said one of the fastest guys on a hand controller, and Psydog representing New Zealand in the Toyota series and the manufacturer series, winning all his lobbies and winning the FIA championship back in the Nürburgring in 2018. These guys that are in the regular TS2 guys are going to find it a little bit tricky now. These guys are in the lobby.
Yeah, there's a bit of an invasion going on here from some of these guys, and yeah, they've just jumped straight in and straight to the top of the timesheets, and probably going to be leaving some of these guys like JMX, Little Blacko and Co to
Sorry to
maybe
cut you off there,
instead
Jarman, but
fight
Matt
for the
just said
scraps.
another time. Again, he's gone faster
19.3.
again.
This is incredible stuff. 19.3 in a TS2 lobby. This is unbelievable. I wonder if maybe playing the investigator. I wonder if their settings are set to low and there's no tyre wear in the qualifying. So I wonder if that might be the case, because for a guy like Matt, we know he's quick, but a 19.3 in a TS2 car, I don't know.
Yeah, it might be something to quickly investigate.
You as the streamer probably might need to have a quick check, because if that's the case, then we can definitely tell.
No, everything seems to be right with the...
Oh no, hang on, I just saw there, tyre wear and fuel was turned off in the qualifying mode. Up there.
Tyre wear during qualifying is off,
Off.
and fuel consumption during qualifying is off.
There you go.
That'll explain
So drivers
things,
coming up to the first race now, they're going to come in for a big shock, because the tyre grip is going to be very low and the car's going to feel a lot slippery. But for a guy like Matt, I mean, credit's due. A pole position at the moment. Viper Z crosses the line in third place. Can't improve his time, but Psydog has improved his time to put himself in the front row. So the top 5 from pre-qualifying as locking out the top 5 in the main TS2 race, with the fastest TS2 runner, Little Blacko. They have championship leader for the Robo Sport Camp in 6th, while JMX in 7th place. Mick Ease has actually got himself up into 8th place, and I saw Robbo was in 9th. So our regular drivers are putting up a good fight. I did mention to Robbo, it's kind of like a TS2 split, and then you've got TS 2.5, like in Formula 1, with the midfield pack. As we see Duran 50 coming across the line. Can he improve his time? Can he get towards the front row? He does improve, but not by much. He stays in 4th. What about John O'Stan? He stays in 5th. Little Black goes across the line. JMX, the fastest Mash Spuds racing driver, only Mash Spuds racing driver, as Zola 96 cannot make it tonight, in 7th place, with Beast Racer having a great qualifying in 10th place. Shep Toddy just merely behind him in 11th. Just kind of reminds me of George Russell and I believe it was Fernando Alonso back in the qualifying in the Formula 1 last night, whereas only separated between 10th and 11th by points by 8 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, these guys are definitely showing that they've come to race and take these races out, as we go to start round 10 of the TS2 Racing Series, and this start may change everything depending on if they can get off the line or not. But obviously with Mint Matt and his history of racing overseas in the GT Blank Pain Series, he may be able to know how to get this off the line properly.
As we get ourselves underway, it is Mint Matt and Psydog, 2 friendly rivals, Aussie versus Kiwi. Who's going to come and make the first corner at the Brazilian Grand Prix here at the Autódromo de José Carlos Paz circuit in Interlagos, and we are underway. Green flag racing. Mint Matt has got a great start with Psydog right beside him, with Psydog coming alongside him. He's going to take the lead at the end of the first corner with Psydog and Mint Matt. Duran 50 slotting himself in to 3rd place, putting up a good fight with Viper Z, but he's lost a couple of spots to Viper Z and John O'Stan, with Little Blacko right behind. So it is, so far, it is Nissan Fast in the top 6 with John O'Stan, the sole Lexus driver, as we see Mint Matt trying to defend his position over Viper Z, and he's done so very nicely. So these drivers know each other very well, but one driver we know, and we all know very well, Psydog is leading the way in the TS2 for race 1 here at the TS2 Trackstars Interlagos Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's a close battle here between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th at the start, but yeah, Psydog's starting to clear away, and maybe Mint Matt needs to hopefully try and break free of the 3 cars behind him and try and gain some time back on Psydog here.
Exactly. And as you guys have got your main series going on, we've just wrapped up our first race, and in the final corner, Rocker Lily is going to come take out the first victory in Split 2. So he just missed out by, I can only tell you, by like 0.050 from being in the top split, boys. That is unbelievable. But Rocker Lily's just come across the line to take victory in Split 2. But leading the way in the main TS2, Psydog over Mint Matt. 2 familiar names with John O'Stan right behind. Viper Z in 4th. Duran 50, the new boy in TS2 from CP Motorsports. Where do they recruit him? He's in 5th place. with the fastest TS2 driver, Little Blacko, and the championship leader in 6th place. Robbo Sport actually having a great start, moving himself up into 8th place. So I wonder if these new boys didn't come into the series, this is definitely the podium position.
Yeah, it definitely would be a podium battle if it wasn't for the 5 guys in front. But yeah, Robbo's had some really good pace in the qualifying session along with the opening stages of this race. So hopefully he can keep it all together and get some solid points in comparison to his championship rivals.
Not wrong there, and JMX will be looking to make a bit of a charge towards the top 3 in the championship because he's a fair margin behind Little Blacko and Xylon. But now, because Xylon hasn't made the race tonight, he'll be making a big impact on the championship as he starts to close up a little bit on Little Blacko, but he has to keep an eye on Robbo and Mickey as he's in basically a Robbo Sport racing sandwich with the sole Mash Buds Racing in 7th place there. As we look down towards the rest of the group, we have Beast Racer 3993 still maintaining a top 10, with Chef Toddy in 11th place. Delta Calypso's had a great run in 12th place, and Rugworth is having a shocking run down in 13th place. This is not where we usually see Rugworth in the championship.
Yeah, it looks like he's had a bit of a struggle in the opening laps and maybe made a mistake here or there and run wide, probably along with Chef Toddy as well. So probably didn't expect these two to be quite as far back, but of course Devlin Calypso's doing a great job in 11th place.
You see down in 14th is Benjo, GLR 19th. I'm not so sure who's the guy in last place though there, so I'm not so 100% sure. So anyway, regardless, but this pack towards up the front has caught up massively with Psydog just leading the way over Mid-Mat, Jono Stan and Viper Z, with Duran 50 heated right in the heat of the battle. But look at these boys, the top 5 from pre-qualifying have just pulled away from Little Blacko. So this is incredible. As I see Jono Stan coming in from the side, and he's gone spearing through. Did he take somebody out?
I think he got Mid-Mat.
He took Mid out. So let's have a quick, let's catch that replay, Jarman. I want to see what happened there, because Jono Stan, I don't know whether he got tapped or whether he lost it on the exit of before the last corner.
He's just dropped it into the curb all on his own.
Oh, and he's just going to collect Mid-Mat. So, this is amazing scenes, ladies and gentlemen. A very unlucky result for Jono Stan and Mid-Mat, but this is definitely helping guys out like Robbo Sport and JMX and Little Blacko.
Yeah, I think Mint was sizing himself up to take the lead here, and then of course Jono's mistakes just come through and collected him. It's almost like Phillip Island in 2013 between Preme and Courtney.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to be with Courtney in that accident, but as we see Mint-Mat and Jono Stan about to come charging through the field, and I was just thinking to myself, I would want to be Duran 50 in all of this, just sitting at the back and letting it all happen.
Yeah, I think now that that's happened with those two being cleaned up, I'd say that it's probably spread these front 3 out a bit too much for him to come through for the win, but he's certainly looking very strong for a podium here.
As we see... yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as we see 5% under attack from Duran 50, so the new boy Duran 50, who took a clean sweep back at the Blue Moon Bay Infield Day, which was only a couple of weeks ago, took a clean sweep in qualifying, or pre-qualifying I should say, then qualifying, and then the 2 races that he competed in. So Duran 50 and CP Motorsports, what a great combination.
Yeah, certainly a good pick up there from CP Motorsports, and Duran certainly representing the team very well in the last couple of weeks. As he is trying to find a way around Viper Z, but not quite doing enough to get ahead of him or get close enough to make a move even.
So Duran still looking to make a move. As we look down towards the back, I did see JMX has dropped a few positions there, and that's promoted Robbo Sport and Mickey. So we've got ourselves a Robbo Sport camp fair between these guys. We look at a replay. Oh, that's what happened to JMX. He just ran it a little bit too wide, and he's so lucky that he hasn't done any 360s in that car. So what a save from JMX there. And unfortunately for him, he's dropped himself down into 7th place. So what was looking to be a top 5 for JMX is now down in 7th with Beast Racer right behind. And these boys have got 3 laps to go because look at this, Mint Matt and Jono Stan, they're catching.
Yeah, they're definitely closing in on these two here, and they'll be looking to be as far up the field as possible for the end of this race so that they can get the best starting position that can possibly be achieved for race 2. So there's certainly nothing left to play for those two in the remaining laps of this race. It's actually down to 2 laps to go, and got to give a bit of a shout out here. Robbo Sport's up into 5th place through all of this, so very strong performance so far from him.
Yeah, Robbo Sport's having a great showing. Absolutely. When I had a bit of a chat with him earlier, he was a little bit down with all these new boys coming in, but I guess patience is key. And for Robbo Sport and his team, it's been resurrected in the TS2 with Little Blacko in 4th, Robbo in 5th, and Mickey's in 6th. What could it be, Jarman? This could have been like a Robbo Sport racing podium if it wasn't for the top 3 where they are. It's incredible.
You're definitely right there. It would have been a clean sweep of the podium in this one if it wasn't for the 3 or 5 guys ahead of them. Well, ahead of them and behind them as well.
Exactly right. So as we're coming up towards the final lap, it is still Psydog 2 leading the way. The Toyota champion from back in 2018 and 19, back in the FIA World Tours, leading the way over Viper Z. Duran 50 has dropped off a little bit from Viper Z's, but he's going to consolidate a podium position. Little Blacko in 4th place. I want to see what the gap is between Blacko and Duran, because this is definitely going to be a tasty race 2 between Duran and Blacko if these guys get close to each other. Robbo Sport in 5th, Mickey's in 6th, JMX in 7th, and like we said, Mid Matt, he's on the charge. He's getting himself very close to JMX, as I see on the track map there.
Yeah, it looks like he's up to 8, so about a second behind the car of JMX, but yeah, of course we've got Jono Stan and Beast Racer pretty close to each other for 9th place in this final lap.
We may have a run to the line here with Viper Z hunting Sea-Dog, as we see Jono Stan goes wide and he just drops off the back there of Sea-Dog. That's unfortunate coming into the last couple of corners.
As we see Psydog rounding up the final corner here for race 1. It is Psydog's going to take the victory, but looks like he made a mistake on that lap, but he's going to take a nice cruisy victory for Psydog. So congratulations to Psydog 2 and his team on debut in TS2. It is Psydog 2 taking out the first race here at Trackstars Racing Series in the TS2 category at Interlagos, with Viper Z and Duran 50 in 3rd. We've got a run to the line here. Mid-Matt has made the overtake on JMX, but JMX is going to tuck in right to that slipstream. Can he make a move towards the line? He doesn't, and he stays in 8th place while Mid-Matt promotes himself up into 7th place. And we saw a run to the line as well between Jono and Beast. They've moved themselves up and they've swapped orders, as we see back down there as well. Devlin and Chef Toddy swapping positions. This is incredible. That back straight is going to be unbelievable. That back straight is absolutely unbelievable for power position. It's crazy.
Yeah, that might be something to watch out for in the remaining 5 races we've got tonight. There'll be plenty of drafting battles coming to the finish line, and I think, yeah, we'll probably have a few people trying to line themselves up on the last lap to be in the prime position.
Absolutely, as we see Bedger rounding up the final corner here, and just to clean out race 1 of the Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars Championship, where it is Psydog, Viper Z and Duran 50 rounding up the honours on the podium. One guy that you couldn't touch here at Interlagos, it is Psydog 2, the New Zealand boy, with a clean race bonus and taking victory here at race 1 here at Trackstars CS2 Series. As we get ourselves underway very shortly for race 2, we will like to take a break, and we'll get you guys sorted out for race 2 very soon while I sort out race 2 in split 2.
So just a quick recap of the results. It's a Psydog in the Nissan GTR. It's actually Nissan GTR 1 through to 7 actually.
I was just about to
It's
say it's
absolute
a GTR
dominance. Yeah, so Psydog takes the win and just a bit under a second behind Viper's Ed for the Satellite Racing team, and then Jerome 50 representing CP Motorsports, and then 4 through 6 the Robo Sport Racing trio of Little Blacko in 4th, RSR Robo Sport in 5th, and Mickey's in 6th, and then Mint Matt coming through the field after that unfortunate incident on, I think it was lap 2 or so, and yeah, he came back to finish 7th. And then we've got 4 Lexuses behind that, with JMX representing Mash Spuds Racing in 8th place, Jono Stan in 9th, Beast Racer rounding out the top 10. Just outside top 10 was Rugworth, and then we've got in 12th place Devlin Calypso, and then 13th Chef Toddy, WEC Scully in 14th, and then Benjo GLR 19, rounding out the field in 15th place for race 1 of this race.
As we see, it was a majestic race. As we see some stuff going on here in the chat box over here, but
I think it's a bit of banter between a few of the top 5 guys in pre-qualifying.
yeah, but it's nice to see that Robbo there with a magic performance there to be up right behind Blacko there with Mickey's right behind. But the question is, where will Mint Matt finish the next race?
I think he might have a hard time taking the win, but I think he could definitely set himself up for a good starting spot in race 3. Come through the field, maybe get himself a top 5 or top 3, and then who knows what he can do from there. Maybe he can line himself up for victory in race 3. So while we have a couple of minutes before we go racing in race 2, just like to send out a message, make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow along. Plenty of content coming out, whether it's the TS2 touring cars, Trackstars Formula 2, or even the main series races with the Elite Brake and Mechanical Trackstars touring car series, or even the Formula Trackstars. And of course we've got the Porsche Cups that will be coming on Thursday nights every second week pretty well from now on. And of course we have the Trackstars Endurance Series. There's 2 rounds left of that coming later on in the year, so plenty of content to be coming on the YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribed and get to see all of the action as it goes live. And of course if you're following along on Twitch as well, make sure to give us a follow too over there.
Is we got these boys just waiting here to go through race 2. We got some chatter going on in the Discord saying these guys are damn quick, but they're all following regulation, they're all not breaking rules, so it just shows that racecraft and speed will get you up the front.
I got a feeling my screen's frozen.
So do I.
Alright, might be back a bit soon. We're going to have to do a quick reset here.
So we've got ourselves underway here at the TS2 touring car split. We had in split 2, we still have Rocker Lily leading the way ahead of Honorary Airburn with Matt Malik in 3rd, Budsy and 76 in 4th place. Highlander 215 in 5th, NZL Cowboy in 6th, H4M Wallet in 7th, with Rid 1 F1 had a poor start in race 2, dropped himself down into 8th place, with SS Boy in 9th, Renegade in 10th. So Slayer in 11th had a bit of a shocking start to his start as well, started in 5th place in that last race, dropped himself down into 11th, with SRF Han rounding up the top 12. So still Broccoli leads the way. As we get our stream back underway, ladies and gentlemen, we do apologise, and hopefully we will get ourselves sorted out very shortly for race 2 in the main TS2 split.
Yeah, we just had a bit of freezing issues there, so getting that all restarted.
Yep. Yeah, just seen that now.
Yeah.
That's all good. But we've still got Brock and Lily just missed out for like 0.050 to be in the main TS2. That's so unlucky for him. Because he wasn't that far behind. I think it was John S. Stan, I believe it was. He was not that far. He's defending from Airburn, which is very close between those two, with Mad Malik in the podium position there, with Budsy 76 and 4th, and Highlander in the top 5 as well.
Alright, don't know what's going on here. This is fucking bullshit.
For the Honda,
No, the Nissan, so we may have to kind of do a bit of changes around here, but I did notice in the specs that the Honda is carrying insane amount of different weight in the TS2 specs.
yeah. Well, when we did earlier testing between with the Hondas and the Nissans, we knew that if we dropped the Hondas down to the same weight as the Nissan and the Lexus, it was actually literally 0.9 of a second faster. So then when we added a bit of weight and we just increased the weight in both cars, in all cars, we managed to even it out in the end. So the first few races were good. It was a good mix between the Hondas, Nissan and Lexus, but I think the last few races have been a little bit more Nissan dominant, I'd say.
Yeah,
I guess that's just the way it is anyway.
Alright, so it looks like we're nearly ready to go for race 2. apologies for the interruption there. It looks like the whether the capture card had a bit of a fit there and decided to freeze itself, or whether it was the PlayStation itself, I'm not sure, but a quick reset and we're back underway.
And leading up in the front row, our race 1 winner, Psydog versus Viper Z. So we had Psydog and mid-map. What can Viper Z do from the start? We saw Psydog have a great start, but what about these guys? The Robo Sport Camp, Robbo, Blacko and Mick Ease in the top 6 there. So what can these guys produce anything in their Nissans as we get ourselves underway? Whoa, what's happened here?
I think there's just a disconnection again.
Oh no, not again. Thank you, GT.
Strikes again.
GT strikes again.
Yeah, the whole lobby's gone down by the looks of it.
Oh.
So apologies guys, I
Yep.
think we're going to have to hold station for a moment while Robbo gets the lobby back going again, and
Yep, and Robert,
get things
and
back
Robert's
underway.
he's just confirmed that the lobby has crashed, so we do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. There's not much we can do, but it's always the GT servers that play their part in Race League Series. So unfortunately, we're going to have to stay put a little bit. We're going to have to come up with a bit of an idea of what we're going to do on how they're going to restructure it, whether they just do one more race, because I know the second split is just about to complete their second race and they're going to have one more to go before they finish their race 3. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to have you guys back very soon.
I'm just going to jump into the second split and maybe we can get
Okay.
some racing action on there.
Well, sounds great. We're on our last lap, ladies and gentlemen. In split 2, we have Brocker Lily still leading the way, ahead of Airbird and Budsy in 3rd place, with Mad Malik in 4th, Highlander in 5th place with H4M Wallet. So there's a great battles between those guys in the first few places there, but we've got a mid-pack battle between Budsy, Mad Malik, and H4M has made a move on Highlander, so he's promoted himself up into 4th place there, so he's actually improved his time as we get ourselves towards the end of the checkered flag here. Still off here, and Airborne is still following his tracks. He's not far away, less than a second between those guys, and there's just going to be very close run to the finish line if Broccoli doesn't make a mistake here. But Budsy's in a comfortable 3rd position. H4M Wallet in 4th with Mad Malik in 5th, and a battle pack raging on Ridwan in 7th place. As we look up towards the front, it is Honor. Everyone's got himself a great run to the drag. Is he going to get into that slipstream? Is he going to get it towards 1st place as we come across the line? No, it is still Broccoli. He's going to take out Line Honors, and it is Broccoli taking out victory in split 2 of race 2 here at Trackstars TS2 series at Interlagos. Budsy in 3rd with H4M Wallet in 4th, Mad Malik in 5th, Highlander in 6th, and Ridwan in 7th. The Slayer in 8th. And rounding up the rest of the grid, we have Renegade in 9th, SS Boy in 10th, NZL Cowboy in 11th, and Han in 12th place.
We do have people chatting in the Discord to see if race 3 will be cancelled, but obviously all comes down to time.
Absolutely, yeah. It all just depends on the time for the main series, I guess. So as we see, rounding up in the top orders, it is Broccoli taking out victory ahead of Honorary Airburn, Budsy in 3rd place with Hadge for Wallet in 4th, Mad Malik in 5th, Highlander in 6th, in 8th, Renegade in 9th, and SS Boy rounding up the top 10, with NZL Cowboy in 11th and SRF Han rounding up the top 12 here in Split 2. So as we get that race underway shortly, we're going to hopefully get our lobby to be brought back to you very shortly.
And due to us not having enough time for a third race, we have had word from the managers that we are extending race 2 to 12 laps.
Apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. We looks like we've got most of our drivers back. It looks like we're waiting on one more driver, and as we get ourselves ready for race 3, which race 2 and 3, so a combined race championship that we've got going on now. So unfortunately for us, we're running out of time because our main series will have to get underway very shortly. But it's still leading the way. It's going to be double points for our drivers, so it's all to play for here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's all about the drivers getting a good position to hopefully get some good points under their belt.
And we are not. We are used to GT Sport having these hiccups and sneezes like this, so it seems to be a bit of a general occasion.
Yeah, it happens often, but we've had a couple of good weeks lately, so unfortunately we're now into the bad parts.
And the worst one was that Monza one, when we had to cut it an hour and a half in and then do a half an hour sprint race. But we got there in the end, but it's good to see that it's been cooperating lately. But all the drivers are now in. We're almost ready to go for race 2 of round 10 of the Sao Paulo sprint, and I can't repeat what Spud said because I have no idea how to say it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt it as well. I'll just go with the Autodromo de Interlagos. I think that's a bit more simpler to say than the
That's
the one
that's
that.
fair enough. Yeah.
I think I believe Spud's a bit more. How do I put it? I think his his origins are a lot closer to Brazil than what ours are. So I think he's got the pronunciations a bit more down pat than what we will ever have.
I can tell you, mate, I'm Aussie as it comes.
Yeah, so yeah, my family was born in South America, in Argentina. So, but I was the only one born in Australia, so I've got that background of Argentinian background in the family. So, associations of words, we just put a lot of emphasis on it. So basically, for a track like Interlagos, for the full name and any Spanish names and Portuguese names, we put a lot of emphasis on them. So I thought, so yeah, so no, it's pretty much expected because I do love like having like pronouncing like names like tracks like Interlagos and the history behind it as well. So that makes it easy for me to pronounce as well. But it looks like you guys are about to get your race underway. We're just waiting on one more driver in our lobby, and hopefully we get underway very shortly.
So, an extended race of 12 laps this time around, but we're ready to go. This will be the final race of the night. Twice the points on the line, so instead of the usual 50, it'll be 100 this time around. So, Side Dog off pole, Viper Z joining him on the front row, and then of course we've got Duran 50 and the trio of Robo Sport drivers, and of course Mint Matt to look forward to as well. As we're underway in this second and final race for the TS2 touring cars here at Interlagos, and Viper Z's off to a good start, but Duran's right on his tail as well as Side Dog and Viper Z go side by side, but it's Viper Z who gets the lead through turn 1 and into turn 2, 3 and 4, and oh no, Little Blacko's stuck on the track here, so I think that might be a red flag.
No.
So.
Oh no, not again. Well done, GT.
I think I might have to call it myself. And that Robbo's called it, so there we go. So Little Blacko stuck on the track at the start line, just made it past start finish line, and here we go. Here comes the chaos of burnouts and running into each other as they all mess around a bit. Oh no, exactly. Here we go.
And
they've teleported back to the start line, so this is going to cause issues.
Yeah, and on that note, I shall love yous and leave yous because I am going to go fill my belly with some dinner.
Thanks, DJ, for jumping in. Appreciate it. Thanks for the calls.
Anytime.
We'll definitely see you. We'll see you in the main series very shortly.
Cannot wait to race around this track.
Okay, I have a big feeling as well. No, our drivers are underway in the main TS2 split. In the TS2 second split, they're getting themselves underway. So, saw a bit of a contact there. Oh, okay, so Mad Malik's just rejoined the lobby. Got to call out red flag one more time. Yeah, I think it is the curse of GT Sports not playing friendly with us tonight, Jarman. So I think we might have to delay our main series race coming up very shortly. So just to get these guys to finish their race. So hopefully for somebody, they can just jump in the lobby, set up a lobby up for us that we can just jump in, and hopefully, get ourselves at least get our main series underway either now or at scheduled time, or at least a delay.
Fortunately, we've still got an hour leeway to get ourselves up and running, so hopefully there's not too many issues, but yeah, hopefully we can get this second race going the second time around and no issues, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed nothing happens in the main series, because we all know how GT strikes, and it can strike anybody. Like it striked a few of your guys there, like Duran, Mint, Matt, and a few others. So whether it's usually a lobby issue or a host issue, or it could be somebody in the room that's not pairing up with somebody, who knows? It's just a little bit unlucky, and I guess that's just how GT has been for the last few weeks and the last few months and the past few years. So unfortunately, and with the GT7 looking like to be with GT7 looking to be out in 2022, hopefully, and on both consoles, hopefully they get the systems right.
Yeah, let's hope that they can finally fix some of these issues. But yeah, I think it's partly because of the new consoles. I think they probably dedicate more server space and quality to the new consoles, and then sort of leave the PS4 games as a bit of an afterthought.
Yeah, probably not wrong there. So as you guys get yourselves ready underway, I'm just about to set the grid up for my lobby as well. So yeah, so unfortunately we've got a lot of things going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely going to be
By having a shorter race or only 2 races. As we're not far away from getting underway in this second race again, so fingers crossed that there's no issues this time around.
Let's hope not. So as we get ourselves ready for TS2 Split 1, it is going to be Psydog and Viper Z on the front road, followed by Duram 50 and then the Robo Sport camp, followed with leading the way Little Blacko, Robo Sport and Mickey's in 7th. Look out for Mint Matt in 7th place and Jono Stand in 9th. They'll be looking to make a charge towards the front, but look at it, but up the front, Psydog and Viper Z, who's going to get the start? We did see Viper Z have a great start in the initial phase. As we look up towards the light, they're going to be ready, and we are off. Racing green flag, and it's 5%. He's got himself the perfect start over Psydog. So he's got his starts perfect with Duram 50 as well. Got himself a much better start there. He's gone side by side with Psydog, putting up a fight with the FIA champion in 2nd place, but he doesn't hold through. But look at this, gentlemen. Matt has gone from 7th place to 4th. Wow, unbelievable scenes.
Yeah, what an unbelievable start there. I think we might have to jump back and see if we can get a replay of what happened. No, we just kind of missed the start. He basically made up all his ground before turn 1, so that was a lightning start there from him.
Absolutely, it's not a great start, and Little Blacko's hanging on to him, so he's doing a really good job, Little Blacko, to keep in touch with him as they execute the first few slow hairpins, as we see Psydog and Duram 50 side by side. But look at this, Matt is actually going side by side with him now. So lots to play for here in this 12-lap race. So these boys will get themselves a little bit longer racing, which is great news for the fans. But hopefully these guys don't tie themselves up after lap 7 and think, oh, hopefully I'm done. But no, I've still got more racing to go.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to do a bit more endurance, and maybe this will be a bit of a taste for some of these guys of what to expect in the main series should they choose to make the jump.
exactly right. So hopefully one of these guys might be on the radar of a few teams, especially with these Nissan drivers in the way. But Nissan leading the way in top 5, so incredible. Look at this, John. John Stan's gone from 5th, has gone from 9th to 6th place. So he's also making moves. This is incredible.
But look at Blacko trying to go around the outside of Matt here, so not quite working
Probably
out
not.
for him.
Is he going to hold that stick? He doesn't, but he gets pushed a little bit wide by John Stan, and John Stan has promoted himself back up into 5th place. So what we did see in the first race is now back in the top 5. So the top 5 contenders are back in their original spots, with Little Blacko in 6th, Robbo in 7th, and JMX has moved himself up into 8th place as well. So as I've got my split 2 underway, is actually going to be Airburn leading the way ahead of Broccoli, who's got a great start ahead of Broccoli, with Budsy in 2nd place, and Broccoli has dropped down to 3rd. As somebody goes wide there, is Ridwan F1 runs a little bit wide there. He's been pushed a little bit wide into turn 1, but he's got himself back on the track in 6th place.
Yeah, Side Dog's just run wide there.
Run a little bit wide there. Side Dog had just managed to catch that, so good timing there for myself. Side Dogs runs a little bit wide, and he's not catching Viperset at all, so Viperset's just running away with it like he did in the Formula 2 series last week.
Yeah, although Side Dog just set the fastest lap that time around, so must have been a very bad first lap from Side Dog to lose that time and still be 1.5 up after going the fastest lap.
Exactly, so he hasn't lost much time, and I guess 5% and Side Dog, they do know each other, and at least the 4 out of the 5 in the race so far, they do know each other. They do know their race craft and their pace. So I wonder if they're going to be playing a little bit tactics-wise on pace-wise, but I guess one cork in the bottle, it is Duran 50. So, but he's doing himself an excellent job in the CP Motorsport Nissan to be up in 3rd place and running with top drivers.
Yeah, he's certainly holding his own there. I wouldn't say he's a cork in the bottle. He's certainly keeping pace with Side Dog in front of him. It's ebbing and flowing a little bit, but I'm sure Mint Matt will be hoping to get himself into the top 3 as soon as he possibly can, and maybe try and mount an attack on these 2 or 3 cars ahead of him.
Exactly, and as we look up towards the in the split 2 of TS2, it is Eber leading the way ahead of Brock Lilly. So Brock Lilly won the first 2 races. As I catch an onboard between yourself and Mint Matt, looks like he's made a move on Duran 50. Very nice, and very cleanly he's promoted himself up into the podium. So a nice move on Mint Matt, from Mint Matt to go on Duran 50. But Duran 50, like you just said, he's putting on a show, and he's not giving up here. He wants to have that podium position. He wants to run with top drivers here at Trackstars Racing Series.
Yeah, he's definitely fighting back here and very much holding his own. Maybe now it's the time to sort of try and tuck him behind Mint and maybe let Mint drag him back up to these 2 guys in front of him.
What do you think is going through the mind of the drivers? Do you think they might have to work with each other, at least the top 5 have to work with each other to get closer towards 5%? Or do you think drivers like Duran and Jonathan, that you think they've got nothing to lose and they want to get themselves up on the podium position?
Oh no, there goes Duran.
Oh! So, as we said, a commentator's curse on Duran 50 has made a big mistake, and he's just lost it on the exit of the corner, and he's still losing it again. So very unlucky for Duran 50. Goes from bad to worse. As you see a quick replay as he's coming around, he's trying to make a move on Mint Matt, but it looks like just too much throttle application. You see right behind Mint Matt, he's going to come across and he's going to go wide. He doesn't go wide, so he actually puts the throttle in too early there. So I would have thought he would have gone towards the AstroTurf there, but nope, he just lost it.
Yeah, it was a somewhat weird one, but yeah, I think everyone makes those mistakes here or there. Wow, he's dropped all the way down to 15.
And he's all the way down in 15. So very unlucky. I think he did have a secondary moment there after that first mistake. So, that's very unlucky for Duran 50, putting on a great show with these top drivers. And I wonder if the head boss of CP Motorsport, Chase Persh, is watching and is probably crying in his chair. So big F in the chat for Duran 50 there, ladies and gentlemen, but still leading the way, 5% ahead of Sidedog. He's got himself a good margin, 1.6 over Sidedog, and Mint Matt right behind with Jono standing fourth and Little Blacko and JMX. I want to see what those boys are up to, Little Blacko and JMX. The top runners in TS2 in 5th and 6th place, being outclassed by the top 4 drivers. So there's a bit of a gap between Little Blacko and JMX there, as we do know in the championship, and we do know that Little Blacko is a great driver, and he's been showing some great performances in the main series as well. But look at that, Rugworth is not far behind him as well. So Rugworth behind Robbo Sport, but Robbo's having a great outing. He's having a fantastic round this weekend, Jarman.
Yes, in terms of championship points, maybe compared to his closest rivals, he's certainly having a good haul here, and probably going to close the gap in on some of these guys. But I mean, I'm sure he probably wishes that these 4 or 5 pre-qualifying guys didn't turn up, as I'm sure it would have turned into
Absolutely.
a couple of podiums and top 2 finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not wrong there. As we see JMX just holding his own, he has to not make a mistake. So he's lucky to not have a 2nd and 3rd race there, because that first race he made with that mistake really cost him and dropped him down low as 9th place. I was 8th place there. So JMX is on the charge, making up 2 positions. But looking up ahead, I wonder if that gap between Viperset and Psydog is closed. I'm not so sure. But we're about to approach the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen, of race 2 and 3, combination of race 2 and 3. Double points here, ladies and gentlemen, in TS2 Trackstars touring cars.
Yeah, so just at the halfway mark, and yeah, obviously Viperset looks like he's got himself a bit of a gap there, and he's pumping out the fastest laps, so it's going to be really tough for someone like Psydog or Mint Matt to, or even Jono Stan, to close in the gap on him in this later half of the race. And yeah, Viper's definitely on some
Robert looks
good
like he's
score.
going to be making a move on JMX there. He thinks about it, but he doesn't have to stick, so he's going to tuck in right behind him. But these guys are really in the battle in the championship. JMX, Robbo, Rugworth, Mick Eves as well. I'm not so sure how far down he's dropped, but he was a part of the championship. But leading the way in, at least for rounding up the 3rd place in the championship, JMX. Robbo thinks about making a dive bomb, and he doesn't make it, so that was a bit of a last minute call there for Robbo Sport to not make the move stick, otherwise it would have taken both of them out.
Yeah, very good awareness to pull out of that one, but I'm sure Robbo's going to be looking to make a move. But Rugworth's got his nose down the inside with Robbo running a little bit wide there, so they go side by side through these turns.
Side by side, they're going to leave each other enough room to go side by side through the corner. So what about this? Is Rugworth going to make a move on JMX? He has, but he's got a little bit of contact here. We're almost going to see 3 wide through these corners. We saw a lot of 3 wide action in the formulas, but in a touring car, Jarman, I'm not sure if that's possible.
Yeah, it looks like JMX has ran a bit wide coming out of that corner there, so that's going to compromise his exit. So he's going to come under pressure from Robbo Sport and Rugworth here down this main straight.
Absolutely, and this is a great battle. We don't want to take our eyes off, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see the battle up front, but this pack is unbelievable. I do see almost 3 wide again, but Robbo Sport's going to make an outside move. He doesn't, so he cuts back in, but Rugworth is there. He's saying, nah, you're not going to take the cutback, because I'm going to take your position in 7th place there. So it looks like it's just opened up a little bit now, so he might be able to move up towards the front, Jarman, to see if Psydog is actually closed up on Viperset, and Mint Matt is maybe helping him out as well.
Yeah, it's closed up between Psydog and Mint Map, but Viperset has just cleared out away from these following cars.
Wow.
Just putting on a masterclass again, just like he did at the Blue Moon Bay infield race.
Absolutely unbelievable. So Viperset showing great performance in his Nissan, as well as in the Lexus last time out at the infield A in the main series for Pit Lane Esports, taking a very comfortable victory over Speedy Tyres in the Shade On Racing Team Nissan. So it's a great confidence boost for Viperset if he's looking to commit to a series, and he looks like he's found a great series in Trackstars TS2.
Yeah, he might have joined a bit late, but I'm sure there's plenty of wins on offer, and he can start climbing his way up the order in the series standings.
Exactly, so it would be too long for him to be in the top 10 in the championship with his performance. So we're keeping an eye on Viperset, but looking down the back of the grid here, this battle still rages on as Rugworth thinks about making a move on Robbo Sport. No, he doesn't make it stick, so he's going to stick behind Robbo for the next few laps, because these guys have got 4 laps to go, whilst in the split 2, these guys are starting their final lap, and Honourably Airburn is coming around towards the final corner. He's going to take victory, his first victory in TS2 Trackstars Touring Cars, ahead of Brock Lilly, who won the first 2 races. As we see on the main split, Durant 50 is making his way up a few spots, overtaking the likes of Wex Scalle, who's just been recently promoted into the top 10, and Devlin Calypso in the Speed Demon Racing team. So great performance by Duran, a nice recovery drive. He's got in the Shade On Racing team right behind as well. So Brock Lilly has come through in 2nd place with Ridwan in 3rd, and Sir Slayer has actually come through in 4th place as well. So great showing from the TS2 boys in split 2, but this one in the main series is not long to go. Chef
Toddy just ran wide there. Duran got up the inside of him and into 11th, and now his sights are going to be set on Mickey's 1, 2, 3 for 10th place here. As he gets a bit wide there, uses as much of the track as he possibly can on the exit of that final corner. Although there's 2 more curves after that, but probably the final proper corner that you take.
Exactly. So it looks like Duran is just going to make a charge, get himself up into 10th place and overtake Mickey's. Only time will tell. But as we look up towards the results page in split 2, like I said, it is Airburn and Brock Lilly and Ridwan taking out a podium position. So congratulations to those guys, and we thank them very much for participating in the split 2 category, as we see Duran 50 closing in massively and rapidly on Mickey's 1, 2, 3. So unbelievable scenes what we're seeing from Duran. We know he's a great driver, and that big mistake from Duran 50 that he made, it's just, I guess, it's one to learn from, I guess.
Yeah, definitely a learning experience, and something that can be easily done through all categories. So it happens to the best of them, and it's just about how quick you bounce back from it all and get back into it and get yourself back up the order. He's certainly doing a good job of that so far in this race. Still got a couple of laps left to go to get himself inside that top 10.
Exactly, so he's still looking to make a move on Mickey's, but looks like he's got himself a good run out of there, and he's going to make that move stick well before turn 1. So great showing. So a nice little recovery drive for Duran 50, but what could have been for him? Absolutely. As we look up, as we're on lap 11 of 12, ladies and gentlemen, it's still Viper leading the way ahead of Psydog, but it looks like Psydog must have just closed a tiny bit there, but Mint Matt is right behind. So the top 3 well-known drivers in the FIA Championships in the top 3 here at Trackstars. We've got Little Blacko in 5th, and oh my god, gentlemen, I see there, JMX, he's actually dropped down behind the Robo Sports Car and Rugworth in 8th place.
Yeah, so it looks like he's made a mistake here somewhere that we've missed on camera, and yeah, dropped from 6th to 8th, and that'll be good news for Robo Sport, who's been having a strong run, even though probably the results aren't to his desired outcome, but I'm sure he'll be able to hold his head high with the performances he's put in tonight, especially against such a stellar field of drivers.
Exactly. It looks like Mint Matt's going to be making himself a move very shortly. It's the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. So we've finally reached our final lap here. So we've got ourselves a great showing between Psydog and Mint Matt for 2nd place in the position in the standings. Gonna stand as far away, it's a fair bit behind these guys, and from Little Blacko as well. So as you see, Robo Sport in 6th place. Like you said, a great showing for Robo Sport there. So in 6th place, so it's going to help his course in the championship, because JMX has now dropped himself down into 8th place. So for JMX, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow this race.
Yeah, a couple of costly mistakes there throughout the race, so certainly be kicking himself over those ones, but yeah, of course you've just got to pick yourself up and keep going the next time around.
Oh, it looks like he's almost about to make a move there, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case unless he gets a really good exit on the final corner. But one guy has not been touched, Viper Z for Satellite Racing, in his Satellite Racing Nissan, is going to come across the line. The checkered flag is his for the final race here at Trackstars Touring Cars TS2. It is Viper Z taking line honours here at Interlagos, with Psydog and Mint Matt almost going side by side towards the end there. So very unbelievable scenes between those guys, so close. Jono Stam burns his penalty and he's in 4th place. What's going on here? Oh, yeah, I think it's just showboating there.
Yeah.
Good old classic Jono Stam with Little Blacko in 5th. Robbo Sport in 6th place. So great drive for Robbo Sport, and that's going to help his championship over JMX. JMX has actually dropped down to 9th place, so it goes from bad to worse from JMX. Unbelievable what has happened to him. As we do see it rounding up the rest of the grid, we do have Chef Toddy in 12th, Wex Gale in 13th, ahead of his teammate Devlin Calypso in 14th, and Benjo GLR 19, rounding up the top 15. So, unbelievable racing here we've had, ladies and gentlemen, between the top split guys and our TS2 guys. But one guy you couldn't touch is Viper Z for Satellite Racing. So, congratulations to the Satellite Racing team and Viper Z. As we did see in Split 2 as well, Rid 1 had a few good races in the race 1 and 2, but unfortunately his race 3 wasn't up to par, I would say, for his standards. But one guy that was up to par and far beyond it, Viper Z, taking line honours and victory and the fastest lap and a clean race bonus. What else can this guy get after a race victory, Jarman? I would say probably a trophy.
Maybe some real champagne.
Yeah, exactly. So, unbelievable. So, as we look towards the grid, it is so, as we said plenty of times, Viper Z in for Satellite Racing, taking line honours with Psydog and Mitmat, who had a very close encounter towards the finish there in 2nd and 3rd, with Jono Stan in 4th, Little Blacko in 5th, and a great showing for him and his championship surge. And hopefully, that's definitely going to increase his points over Cylon and JMX, where we saw JMX down in 9th place there. So JMX and the Mash Buds team will have to get their act together for the next race coming up in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully those boys will have to tune those cars up and make a move on Little Blacko.
Yeah, they'll certainly have to go to work over the next week or so, try and get things tuned up for next time around. But yeah, I think very strong performance from Viper Z, and obviously those 5 guys through pre-qualifying definitely showing that they deserve to be here tonight and possibly even higher up.
Exactly. So as we wrap up tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you so much for tuning in to the Trackstars TS2 Touring Car Series here at Sao Paulo at Interlagos. We do apologise for the lengthy delays that we've had, but unfortunately when GT servers crash out on us, there's not much we can do. So we try our best to give you guys all the action that we can. But I feel like with that last race, we provided a great action. So it was a fantastic race between some drivers there.
Yeah, definitely, and I think we better wrap this up quickly so that we can get to the main series.
So on behalf of myself and Spud P666 and Jarman Dell, it's Racing, we thank you guys so much for watching, and tune in for the main series that's coming up on the Trackstars YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. Nismo86 Oz will be covering that.